we're going to race. Welcome to this episode of Heartbreak Garage, and it is New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year. Thanks for all the comments on the last video, really appreciate it, and if there's anything that you think I need to do or change that would make next year's content better, just let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Hugo the dog is doing much better, which makes me infinitely happier. If you do hear any loud noises or screams or shouts coming, this is actually a real house with real people in it, and my wife is in the other room dismantling Christmas and putting it away. So thanks very much, but don't worry about it if you do hear any noises. Anyway, by the power of the internet and the post office, I have managed to get a new ignition barrel for my lad's bike. So I'm amazed. I remember when I was his age, if anything went wrong with your vehicle, you were absolutely stuck until normally the second week in Jan, because no one had anything in stock and it would just be a nightmare. But we ordered this, got it here, and now we're going to fit it. So let's see what it's all about. So as we can see, 2-wire ignition, it's the same. Got some keys as well, which are always useful with a new ignition barrel. What am I going to do to weatherproof it is, under its back end here, I'm actually going to jam a load of Vaseline up there, and so the water doesn't come in, and that'll be perfect then. And that's my little modification for anything you're doing that is constantly getting wet. You just want to stick some Vaseline on there, keep the moisture out. It's what I've got to hand, and it will do the job. So if it don't fit, don't force it, and let's get this fitted. So we've got the Hoover running in the other room, but it doesn't really matter. So what I've got is some of my wife's Vaseline, and this is Lip Therapy Rosy Lips. So we're just going to get some of that. And get it on in there. Oh yeah, look at that. And we're gonna, oh yeah, we'll just, you know. Oh yeah, it's nice. Yep, that'll work. Right, let's get it fitted. Right, so here we are back in the doing stuff area. We're outside with the bike in my little shed thing, and it actually fits from the underside, and then some bolts go in, but they're a bit awkward to get to, so I'm going to have to fandango something. I might end up having to take everything off, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll just see how we go, shall we? Alright, so I pre-loosened that, by the way. It wasn't that loose. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to try and take this whole thing off. Side off. Just a couple of Allen keys, nothing special. Oh, that's tight. Ow. There's that off. Right, so we've got the choke cable, and then we've got the 2 clamps, 10mm. Oh, that's tight too. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, like my fun. I gotta get this done because he needs it for work on Monday, which is, no, Tuesday. Needs it for work on Tuesday, because obviously Monday, New Year's Day. Oh. Hopefully it comes off without too much stress, because I could do with it being like that. Right, so a couple of 12 mils. We'll crop them off. Right, so oh, it's coming. It's coming. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Right, might need to just straighten the wheel a bit. There we go. Let's just try giving it a bit of gentle persuadering. Where's the gentle persuader? There it is. Oh, it's gently persuading off. Is it? Maybe. Seems to be. Get a torch. That's not the breast. Right. Back in a minute with some more tools. Right, so there we go. Drop the screw. So now we have got the top yoke, you know, I don't know, forks thing, top yoke, whatever you want to call it. And this has had some, it's had a rough old time. Whew, mama. So it's got some anti-tamper screws there, so they're a bit awkward to get out, so we'll have to do something with them and we'll see how we go. But we don't have to now because I can get to them. Happy days. Right, so we're back in the kitchen and this is the new one. That's the steering lock there from the Chinese replacement, and what I have had to do is, because this has had quite a hard life and that steering lock is slightly bigger, I've had to drill a hole out where it goes through just so it clears, because otherwise it was getting caught and bound up. So I've opened that up to a 10.5 mil hole from a 10, I suppose. And then I've also had to make some new screws, because the ones that came out of it, I think someone's been hammering on the steering lock on this at some point and they've actually bent them to bits. So I've got some like that and I just cut them down to make new ones, so we're going to put them in. So what you need to do is make sure it's in the unlock position, and then you just slot it through and poke it in. And then locate your holes in line with your countersunk screws. Get them in. And I'm hoping it's going to be marvellous. So I'll tighten them up. If you're struggling to do this and you need new screws, they do have to be countersunk, otherwise they interfere with the locking mechanism. So we've got that all in now, so let's just put the key in. Oh yeah, and there we go. You can see that there, coming straight through, and that locks into the headstock of the bike. So that's going to be perfect. Mint. So So now that we've got all that built up into there and we've operated it on the kitchen table so we know it operates properly, we're going to fit it back onto the bike. The edge of the doodah on the thing that holds the lock in place that covers the steering lock, it's a bit tight, so you just got to get a little screwdriver in there and give it a jimmy, but I'll get a torch and we'll have a look together. Yeah, so what happens is the plate that the lock attaches to with the steering lock just catches on the nub for the lock on the actual bike. So what we're going to do is just give it a bit of clearance like that, and then we'll just knock it right over, and then we're done. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. She's pretty perfect, so we can start the reassembly. By the way, my dad got me this torch. It's a Nebo Slim, and it's amazing. It's dead bright, it's rechargeable, and it's got a little laser pointer on it and things, so I can point at things. So cheers, Dad, appreciate that, thanks very much. Right, so we're going to get the nut on the top first. We won't forget the washer. Are you still recording? So we're going to put the washer on. The nut, it's just the cap nut, this. We'll screw him on like that. Marvellous. We'll thread this wire through while we're here. We've got to put all this crap back together. So I'll just thread that because that lives under the fuel tank. Right, so what am I doing now? We're just going to get that. And we'll knit that up. Bit more. That should do it. We'll take it for a ride after, and then I'll recheck everything. But obviously, manufacturer's specs and all that business. 2 12s there and there. We haven't undone the bottom, so nothing should have moved too dramatically. Oh yeah, beautiful. Tight enough, but not too tight. Handlebar edge. Oh, before we do that, let's put this bloody bastard choke back on. Oh, actually, no. We can put it on after. Let's get the handlebars on. They have got a locating pin that goes into there, so, and I normally push them all the way forward. There we go, 2 handlebars back on. They're both level with the top of the suspension doers. Right, where's my ratchet gone? Lost it, back in a minute. So now we'll just tighten up the old handlebars. Clip-ons or whatever you want to call them. Oh, beautiful. That's it. Marvellous. I'll put the choke cable back on because we're going to need that. The old carburettor variety. Come on now. And then I'll put all the rest of it back together. And the faster I do this, the faster I'll be fixing my CBR for the Dragon Rally and the race bike. So let's get it done. And we'll get it done together, because it's only you and me here. Everyone else is in the house. It'll work. Oh, does it work? Yeah, it works. Perfect. Right. So, let's get the electrical eyes in done. So, I got the clocks all bolted back in and the wiring done. And it's that plug there that we reconnected under the tank. Just got the tank off and held with some cable ties. So now I'm going to build the rest of it all back up. And first I'm going to connect the battery and give it a test. So let's connect the battery. Hey. So that's the battery back on. Double check, yeah, tight. Put the little cover on. Fuses back in where they belong. And that's back in. Lid on there. I'm going to get the tank back on. Front on. Alright, I'll bring you back in a second. So, you want my advice, which my advice is not worth a shit's worth of difference to anyone, but if you want my advice, if you're looking to pass your CBT and get a bike, I wouldn't bother with any of these Lex Motos or these other, you know, whatever they're called. Just get yourself a Honda CBR, they're cheap enough. You know, this bike was like, it was cheap, it was for nothing, and you can get parts from, you can do the jobs on them, they're reliable, and they just go forever. They're great little bikes. I mean, I'd sooner have, like, how old is this, 15-year-old or something like that. I'd have a 15-year-old CBR over a brand new Lex Moto or Keyway or anything like that. It's just my personal opinion. They're better to work on. They're made out of better shit. The engines just go forever in these little CBRs. I know I had a bit of a do with the race bike one, but, you know, shit happens, doesn't it? You know, but this has got like nearly 40,000 mile on it. You know, I know the other types that they don't even last 1,000 mile and they're crap, and these go much better. When these are running right, they're just mint. So that's my advice. So there we have it. The kids' bike's ready for work again on Tuesday, and that means I won't have to give them a lift. So that works well for me. If it don't fit, don't force it.